Hey there yappers, it's Bree, and I usually do content like this as well as just commentary and art in general, so if that's what you like, why not stick around? Also, yes, I made a poll this week since you guys wanted a subscriber nickname and the yappers won, so yeah. But I've got something new for you guys today. I've been seeing quite a few of those reading your confessions videos swarming around my YouTube recommended, and it got me thinking. What if I got you guys to share your craziest art confessions? I've always loved confession videos, but I always thought, what if they were art related? Or you can confess something maybe you drew, or something crazy art related thing you did, maybe a super hot take, or maybe take advantage of the fact this is anonymous and confess the murder you did last Tuesday. Not art related, but you know. So I decided to make a devious Google form and ask, what are your craziest confessions? So I could react to crazy confessions and give my opinions on hot takes. I asked for answers and boy did you guys deliver. Ignore the Adopt Me music in the background, but chat, tell me why it's only been an hour and there's 97 responses. Holy cow. Okay, I already knew this would be a lot, so I was prepared. I'm not going to go through all of the confessions today, but I'm going to go through the craziest and most interesting ones that I saw. There were a lot, and the first few that I saw were pretty tame, but the more I read, the more absolutely unhinged you all got. But enough yapping, let's get to the confessions. I once drew SpongeBob X Bill Cypher Yowie during Saturday school on a sticky note. Am I saying that right? But still, what a start. You what? See, this is what I was worried about. I don't know how you were able to do that. Like, I would be acting like I just committed a murder if I did that during school. Hey, Bree, can you? Please don't tell my mom, I'll never do it again! I was gonna say your pencil was on the floor. Oh, hey, it's me, Darkened. Anyways, a year or two ago, we were doing the state testing. I had one of my main teachers being one of the people who looked over the tests. We had around 4 tests, and I would finish early and would draw on the paper we were given every time. I drew Matt, Pet, and Preg, and I think on some I drew it multiple times, and it was pretty funny. Come to when my teacher was picking up the paper, she whispered something along the lines of, "I'm gonna miss looking at your art." And when I say I couldn't even look at her for the rest of the year without being embarrassed, I'm not joking. Hey Darken, this is a friend of mine, but also, you what? We're on confession number 2 and I'm already regretting this. And the fact that the teacher ate that up, I can't tell if I should be laughing or sobbing. How are you all doing this in class? I drew Sans pregnant once. I'm out, that's it. We just started. Why are all these first confessions? Why are these all the ones I get? Why are these all the first ones I get? I remember once when I was in elementary or middle school, I saw some cool Cuphead art and completely traced it. I would save the art and recolor parts of it while in the car with my mom, and after finishing it, I'd show it to my classmates and claim it was mine. I don't know why, but back then I was really into Cuphead and still am, and kept tracing specifically that. I did this quite a lot when I was younger, and for some reason my friends believed me. Of course I don't do that anymore and actually make my own art, but it's a funny memory I recall now and then. The story isn't that interesting, but I thought I'd share regardless. I feel like it's definitely a common experience for artists to trace, heavily reference or copy art and claim it's theirs when they're younger, because I feel like we don't realize how wrong it is, and in a way it's an act of admiration. Not to say it's right, but to give my thoughts on why this is such a common experience among artists. Tracing can be good for young artists, but in many cases, it's best not to fully rely on it, and in cases like these, it's definitely best to credit, and especially if you're posting, ask permission before you do so. Once I found my friend's art notebook in my room when I was cleaning it. They were showing it to me a few days before, but we got sidetracked and left it on my floor. I didn't have the foresight to think there was anything they didn't want me to see, and I flipped through it real quick and saw actual smut. I had never told them what I saw. This goes to the grave with me. And this art confession thing. And this is why you never open an artist sketchbook without permission. You might get traumatized. Or drop-kicked. Or both. But seriously, some of our drawings can be horrific, so always ask before opening a sketchbook. They're like diaries, books that should be kept private unless they're willingly shown to you. Hi, I'm Shiloh, and when I first started an animation YouTube channel at 11 to 12, obviously I was getting barely any engagement from people, and my dad for some reason suggested that I make an alternate/fake account to comment on my own animations, and I actually did. So for weeks, whenever I uploaded, I just log into my other account and comment something like, "super cool," and then respond to it on my main account. Sometimes your biggest supporter is just yourself. That's actually so funny though, I probably would have done the same thing when I was younger. I drew someone's OC pregnant a year ago because they had left a hate comment on one of my videos. Whoa, okay, see, this is why you should fear artists. They can and will draw anything. People used to commission me to draw people they didn't like pregnant. I had to quit after the whole AI boom because of how many people wanted me to draw AI bros, preggers. My user is Cosby Tales on Tumblr, I still take asks.
Again, my point still stands. What is with all these pregnant submissions? I'm scared. I am filled with so much internal rage whenever some rando calls my art style anime or tries to give it a label. It's my art style. I am not trying to replicate any specific style. Valid. I hate that every art style that isn't realism is just labeled wham, anime. What's that? It's not hyper-realistic? Guess it's anime then. So basically I was drawing one of my OCs. They had a chubby type body, which I loved. Stand chubby people. And while drawing my base, my teacher walked up and was like, "Are you drawing naked woman?" And I was like, no, this is a base sketch, this is what I'm working on. She just side-eyed me and said, "If I catch you drawing inappropriate art, I'll contact your parents." And then she walked off. She'd always try to sneak peek on my art now and then, and I'm glad it's summer break because that woman gave me anxiety. This is universal for all artists that have drawn people, I fear. I hate explaining to non-artists, no, I'm not drawing sussy art. This is simply a base. The amount of times this has happened to me is insane. I swear people, they aren't naked, they just aren't done. Art styles aren't real. I should specify. Well, yes, everyone draws things in a certain way, there is no set way to draw something. Unless you're doing like realism or drawing like a certain artist, but that's not what I'm talking about. Just because you draw your eyes one way doesn't mean you have to draw your hair in the same way or even have to continuously draw eyes like that. I feel too many artists don't branch out with their art just because they feel like they have to stick to a style, which to be fair, they don't have to branch out or even improve, though I know a lot want to. Also, I color first then do line art. I semi-agree here. I think there's a difference between not letting something bound you from branching out and said thing not existing entirely. Art styles do exist, whether you consider realism, cartoony styles, or all the actual styles. Everyone still has a style, and that style might not be one set thing. Some people have multiple art styles, and that is their style. Anything you draw is your art style. Art styles are simply labels for popular art genres, since people love to label and categorize. There's always been a discussion on whether or not labeling styles is good, but I feel like as long as artists aren't limiting themselves to fit into that cookie-cutter standard of having one labeled art style, there's no problem. Personally, I don't see issues with labels like the jelly style, the cream soda style. It's cute and aesthetic, and I think as long as artists know they can branch out, there is no problem. There's not a problem with sticking to one style if you like, but it's good to expand. But as I've said in my art style video, one style is great, 100 styles is great. It's fine as long as you enjoy what you do. That might be what you meant, but I just didn't understand the wording, but that's just my personal opinion on the topic, and like all opinions I'll say in this video, and just in this channel in general, these are not some gospel to follow. I don't have the quote-unquote better opinions. Everyone has their opinions, just know these are all just my thoughts to add to the discussion. I wanted to let you guys know before I get into more hot takes. Also, coloring before line art sounds so cool, that's a process I'd love to see. Sharpies smell good, brain hurt. Oh my. Do not sniff Sharpies, guys. That might be why your brain hurts, original poster. I actually really like drawing hands, especially realistic ones. I just like making a cool pose with my hand, then drawing it in my sketchbook, which is especially weird because my style is normally super cartoony with very unrealistic hands. Same. I love drawing hands, but then I pull up with the marshmallow hands and everyone just assumes that I can't draw hands. But guys, it's a conscious choice. I can draw hands. I accidentally submitted my cringy 2020 Danganronpa art as an assignment to my math teacher. I think I would cry. That is actually tragic. Submitting any art as an assignment by accident is scary, but the reminder of your past might be scarier. Sup, I'm Spork. This is more of a hot take than a confession. This is not a reason to bash any jelly artist, they're living their own life. The only reason I so heavily dislike the jelly art style isn't because of the same face syndrome or the drama, simply because I've deadass never seen a jelly artist do a full body drawing. It just seems so limiting, on top of the really intense same face syndrome in my opinion. Cute though, true. I've only seen one artist do a full body drawing in the jelly art style, and I wish I could see more since I personally love the style. And I do see why the same face syndrome can be annoying. But valid arguments. Sophie_Soul_2007. One day I was in school with a magic tablet and we were having free time, so I started drawing in it a lot of random sketches. One of those was a drawing of my OC with realistic facial features, squeezed into my cartoonish proportions, like big eyes, wide smiles, small noses, but made them realistic. And that was the first time I ever got scared by one of my drawings, so I erased the drawing as quick as I could and never tried drawing something so horrifying ever again. Scaring yourself with your art is so relatable. When I was 11, I drew a person in an attempt to do realism, and it was so uncanny it scared me. My mom put it up on my wall despite my protest because she loved it. I didn't. I slept with my covers over my head the entire time I had it on my wall because I kept staring into its soulless eyes. Hello, I will stay anonymous for this confession as I'm sure it'll stir up some sort of drama, but my biggest hot take in art is the following. Anime is not an art style. I know, the most popular, probably art style in history isn't a style? Well, let's take a look. Anime is mostly known outside of the art community as animated films that originated from Japan. Heck, I'm pretty sure the word anime is short for the word animation in Japan. Outside of Japan, these films are known to have very iconic art styles that say somewhat consistent with each different anime, and they have intriguing storylines. In Japan, the word anime is used for all animated films of any and every kind. My favorite example is if SpongeBob was made in Japan, it would technically be classified as an anime. So basically what I'm saying is, You can't technically say something has an anime art style if anime itself varies in styles tremendously. Of course, I know that when people say something has an anime art style, they're obviously talking about the iconic stylized, somewhat realistic in proportion art style. But I'm a nerd, so... Interesting comment here. It can really get the readers thinking. Although I do think words can get molded over time, their definitions changing socially. Words can have their literal definitions, meanings, and what it's been molded to. Many words change over time, which in a lot of cases can lead to discourse. An example is the word talent. I made a video in the past talking about this in the word, but many artists hate the term talent because of its textbook definition, a natural ability. As for many, they feel as if calling their hard work natural, you're discrediting all the practice it took to get them where they are. But it's been used in so many different contexts, it's created this more social definition of just, you're really good at art. And many people don't know the actual definition, leading to them getting confused when someone gets upset. It's the same word, but one thinks of the social definition while the other thinks of the textbook definition. The same can be said with anime. Anime and the anime art style, I just consider two separate things at this point, since one refers to, like you said, Japan-originated animation, and the other refers to the popular style within popular Japan-originated animation. But that's just why I think the meaning is so jumbled nowadays. And I'm pretty sure you know that too, but I'm just saying for the other viewers. Though I do fully understand not being the biggest fan of how the word has changed over time, since a lot of change in words stems from not understanding the actual meaning. Plus, it can get annoying. I'm honestly guilty of calling styles anime too, but you're correct. Anime is in fact simply animated films originated from Japan. I like this confession, since for what I personally see, it's not a popular discussion. But then again, I'm not in the anime or online community or fandoms for that, so it could be more popular than I think. I ate a fridge. Not art related, but relatable. I know people don't like the jelly art style, but OMG, the rendering on it just looks so good. Soap straws. Real, I love the rendering so much. When I got so mad at my drawing that I took a bite out of it, but then it kinda tastes good, so I took another bite. Bro took eating art literally, but it's confirmed guys, art can taste yummy in a literal sense. I'd rather stay anonymous, but when I was 10, my classmate made a comment about my hair, and out of frustration, I planned out, drew, and animated the whole song of Stronger Than You, but replaced it with me singing the song to a classmate while I turned into a powerful monster. To this day, I still have the animation somewhere on Flip-A-Clip. This might be the best thing I've read all day. This is amazing. When I was really young, I would find those dark/gory My Little Pony speed paints, and I'd try to copy them either on paper or MS Paint. Needless to say, when my parents found out, they considered taking me to a psychologist. I did something like this. I had an obsession with killer clowns. You could ask any of my family members. I was like under 10. Everyone was deeply concerned. I wanted to draw like one of my favorite art creators, and I watched every single video they made. I kept taking screenshots of their art and tracing over and studying every little line until eventually I made art that looked almost like their style, and I was so happy. And I was so crazy about it that I completely forgot about it the next day. I think all artists at least once in their lives have had that artist that they were so obsessed with that they try to replicate their work. One time I drew Roblox Granny oiled up with a GI. I did not regret. I'm sorry for you having to hear this, Brie. Wait, whoa, I'm sorry I had to hear this too. You guys are gonna give me nightmares. One time when I was younger, I was selling watercolor paintings at a market, and some old lady came up to me and said, "Your art sucks, get a life." I was 9. That's so mean, what? Who pissed in her breakfast oatmeal? Oh my gosh. Okay, so one time, this was before I knew what I'ma eat your art actually meant. I was in class and my best friend made me a drawing. First thing I did was shove it into my mouth and actually swallowed it. I did that until eventually I got told what it actually meant. I think you'd get along great with the other art eater confessor. I absolutely hate coloring, but I love doing line art. It can definitely get tiring, so I completely get that. A few weeks ago, I drew Elon Musk pregnant because I was mad at him. I think I just shed a tear. This video could have an alternate title of just letting my viewers traumatize me, because that's exactly what's happening right now, guys. I draw jelly art style feet in the middle of my speed paint so it looks real. I think this is how we all should start proving our speed paints are real. Draw feet. I think I'm gonna do that now. I used to be so obsessed with symmetry that I would quit art for like a week or even up to a month, and I hated drawing poses because it messed with my symmetry. Did Death the Kid from Soul Eater make this submission? But in all seriousness, perfection is truly an artist's worst enemy. Hi, crazy take, hands are easy. Nah, just kidding. I actually drew so many yippee creatures on a notebook, it was filled to the brim with TBHs. It was 3 whole pages. It was my friends. I zoned out so bad that I completely forgot this wasn't even my notebook. Safe to say they were horrified. Just kidding, they were fine with it and even showed it to my other friends. I did this with Pushing Cat when I was 10. I need to do this again because it's just so fun to doodle silly characters repeatedly. I think all artists need to go touch grass. Lunari. How dare you call me out for being a vampire drawing in my room all day? Never! Fast Guy. I drew Josh Hutcherson pregnant and I am unashamed. On second thought, maybe Lunari was right. Y'all are not seeing those pearly gates, guys. I draw myself insert kissing a character I have a crush on. I'm lonely, okay? Same, I have a stack of papers hidden in my room of just self-ship art. 10,000 likes and I'll expose myself and post a few of them. It's all the same character too, and only 3 people know about it. Or I guess you guys do too now. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, that's it for the crazy confessions, aka me traumatizing myself as I read through all 587 confessions, most of which being sus or pregnant art. Genuinely, I am deeply concerned for all of you. Put those pencils down, walk outside, roll around the grass, hell, eat the grass, take a deep breath of fresh air. But if you want to see me suffer again, which I'm assuming you all do, like this video, and if it does well, I guess I'll make a part 2. In fact, I'm expecting you, yeah, you looking at me right now, I'm expecting all of you to get this a lot of likes. Not because I want a part 2, because for all the torture I endured. You all are paying for my therapy. Wait, what? Okay, fine, yeah, it was my idea. You're right, I'm sorry. Why do I do this for you guys? You know what? That's it, I quit. I'm now devoting my entire life to daily therapy sessions because of this crap. Here are the freaking brush codes. Do not draw sus shit with it, I'm warning you. Remember to love your art, love others, and love yourselves. Because after this bullshit, I know I don't for doing this to myself. Bye!